The following footage is from an Amazon driver. There is a Dropbox Amazon location that she has to go and basically deliver packages to, and she swears it's haunted. She's never been able to get it on camera until now. And honestly, what she captures, it does look haunted. Maybe ghosts are tired of Amazon as well. Take a look at this and tell me what you think.
These people think I'm crazy. Y'all, look at this. Just look. You see that shit? Y'all see that shit? Yo, watch this. Got it on camera. Thank God. What?
Now, I know I left my pee bottle here somewhere, but where? Welcome back, everyone, to the Creepy, Weird, and Strange, and let's dive in.
Does anybody know if Brandon or Corey are out there?
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Bro. Come on, Max. You see that? They found it. Look at that. Look at that. Max.
Any ideas on what this could be? I don't know if it's something physical that could be dispersing particles in the air, or if it's some form of intelligence, but it's definitely strange to see.
You're looking at micro-robots smaller than a grain of dust being trained to cross the blood-brain barrier of a rat. Here you see a swarm of dust-sized micro-robots being trained to remove blood clots in minute blood vessels inside the human brain. And here's another swarm of minute dust-sized micro-robots. The ability to maneuver these nano-sized robots around the human body is increasing exponentially every day. Many of the robots you see here are years old at this point. What do y'all think about this?
Have y'all seen this yet? No, these are not ants. Those are robots, nano-robots actually. They were modeled after ants, and they are doing some amazing things. And now they're even being used in the medical field to help unclog arteries and much more. Check this video out, y'all.
These robots are inspired by ants and were developed by South Korean scientists. Each micro-robot is 600 micrometers tall and interacts with others using magnetic fields. The micro-robot swarm was able to unclog tubes that resembled blocked blood vessels. This technology could potentially be used to clear plaques from clogged blood vessels in medical treatments. In this other application, the micro-robot swarm transported a chunk of the metal indium to complete or break an electrical circuit. This allowed it to turn a light on or off with precision. The micro-robots were able to assemble into a group and coordinate their movements to walk over an obstacle. By leveraging their collective strength and synchronized actions, they successfully overcame barriers, demonstrating their ability to adapt and perform tasks that require precise teamwork. The micro-robots used centrifugal force for self-throwing, propelling themselves over obstacles. A swarm of 200 micro-robots successfully separated heavy liquid metal into smaller pieces in just 5 seconds, despite its high surface tension. They then moved the pieces, joined them back together, and shaped the metal into a smooth sphere. This demonstrated their ability to handle complex tasks with precision and control. The micro-robots formed a spinning swarm on water, creating a floating raft structure that allowed them to carry a pill 2,000 times heavier than a single robot across the surface. This approach could be applied to deliver lightweight medical supplies or drugs across liquid environments in remote or constrained settings. In this example, the swarm used orbital dragging motions at 2.5 Hz to block the superworm's path and stop it from reaching the food. As soon as the swarm stopped its spinning, the worm was able to move toward the food. The micro-robots guided an ant by using a spinning motion to block its path and topple its legs without causing harm. By controlling the swarm's direction, they successfully steered the ant to a desired location. This technique could be applied in pest management or controlled behavioral studies of small organisms. The micro-robots can assemble into structured swarms or disassemble into individual units based on the strength of the magnetic field. By adjusting the magnetic field intensity, their configuration can be precisely controlled to perform tasks like transporting materials or navigating complex environments. Here we see the micro-robots using orbital dragging motion to rapidly circumvent obstacles with precise single-axis manipulation. This allows them to navigate barriers efficiently, completing the task in just 180 milliseconds.
See, these nanobots could have good use cases regarding the medical side of things because they can carry and deliver things like medication through the body, and as far as I'm aware, they dissipate after a while as well. My concern is the fact that they can be controlled and guided through the likes of external devices, electrical signals, etc. Plus, these are being spread in the sky as well, and knowing that we have 5G streetlights doesn't actually fill you with the best of confidence.
So a lot of people are reporting that after the fog that we've been experiencing, there are strange things growing from the ground, just like this. Check this out.
This hair.
That's hair.
Out of the cat poo on the ground. It's like that long coming out of the cat poo.
Did you hear someone coughing from breathing that
Never
in?
seen anything like that. And then I've seen people on TikTok say they've seen it since the fog yesterday.
This is what I found today. This hair is growing out of...
So what do you guys think that this is? A lot of you guys have been commenting in my previous videos, and that's what's up. I can't say it, but you can say it. What do you think it is?
There's this one video where this guy saw a demon in the fog. Look how demonic that is.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, see that?
Hey, it looked like the abominable snowman.
Look at that.
That's probably manufactured by the Smart Dust.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's the demon that's doing it. It's like he's just making everybody smart.
Take my dust.
He's just see, and we've already become so much smarter just overnight.
Yeah. This Smart Dust has the ability to connect to Wi-Fi, and it has the ability to connect to your cellular phone. It's inside your body. Now it's permanently in there. It has the ability to connect to cellular signal. So it's going to be able to connect to your phone. It's an IoT device, which is an Internet of Things device. IOB device, Internet of Bodies. It's in your body. And it's infinitively going to be collecting data.
I'm missing the part where this is bad, because this all sounds good. Like, the government's actually going to help me take care of myself.
Yeah, they are.
When was the last time this guy had showered or wiped or whatever? Like, does he use his right hand or left hand? Does he go from side to right or left to right?
Oh, you gotta be careful, not the toilet theorem.
Yeah, well... forgive me.
New research in Britain has raised concerns about the potentially harmful effect of nanoparticles.
Yeah, someone needs to tell our buddy here that not every government has our best interests at heart. But what do you think about this fog or smart dust, and do you think the hair from the cat tin grew from it?
Hello. So there used to be this fun house in Long Beach, California called Laugh in the Dark. They had a bunch of mannequins and stuff in there, but this one particular mannequin, everybody always said, just seemed a little too lifelike. And that's because it was. In 1976, they were filming a TV show inside the funhouse called The $6 Million Man. The creative director didn't like the way this one particular mannequin looked in the shot, so he had asked somebody to move it. When they went to move the mannequin, its arm crumbled off, revealing layers of human remains and bone. Whenever the corpse was examined inside its mouth, they found a ticket to the Museum of Crime, as well as one singular penny dating back to 1924. It was later found out that the body belonged to a man named Elmer McCurdy. Can't find any good pictures of Elmer, and the pictures that I did find, I'm pretty sure, are just of his corpse, and I don't want to show that on here, so we're just gonna not. But anyway, Elmer was an outlaw who lost his life in 1911 during a shootout with the police. So back then, mortuaries would leave bodies on display, not only for identification purposes, but also as sort of advertisement for their business. So after a while, when nobody claimed Elmer's body, a funeral director by the name of Joseph Johnson decided, hey, that body is mine, so he took him to his funeral home. Elmer was embalmed with an arsenic-based preservative, which allowed him to stay in sort of a lifelike condition. Joseph put Elmer in his funeral home, standing upright with a gun, and charged people 5 cents to look at him up close. Like, what the hell? And he kept him on display like that for 5 whole years. Until these 2 men showed up one day claiming to be Elmer's brothers. They were not his brothers. They then proceeded to take Elmer's corpse on the road for the next 6 decades. Doing this. I don't know. Elmer developed a lot of stage names like the outlaw who would never be captured alive and the 1,000-year-old man. Obviously, Elmer began to deteriorate after being pawned off on so many different gigs. He was in a wax museum, he was in a movie theater lobby as advertisement for a movie. Laugh in the Dark was the final place that he ended up until he was discovered by the TV crew. And then he was finally laid to rest in 1977 in Guthrie, Oklahoma. The man's death was just as busy as his life, like goddamn.
You know, for an adventurous dead man, he's lived a better life than me. I mean, he even had a golden ticket in his mouth to visit the Charlie's Chocolate Factory, and, you know, that's something. No, but on a serious note, though, I am glad he did find a proper burial place in the end.
I did a humiliation ritual, and I passed. This is the title of a video that rapper NLE Choppa posted onto YouTube. It's about 50 minutes long, and this is the intro.
I passed my humiliation ritual with all honors, with flying colors. But the only difference between my humiliation ritual and a lot of others is I was walking with God the whole time.
I watched this whole YouTube video so you don't have to, and it all revolves around this tweet, a very controversial one. It says, "I'm coming out," and he meant by "I'm coming out" with the song, and spiritually it meant for him, he's coming out of this cocoon that God molded for him, and he's going to form into this butterfly that God wanted him to be. But everyone else took it that he's coming out sexually, and he said he received so much backlash, so many bad names, and it made him feel horrible. He said that this was a humiliation ritual that God gave him, and he passed. He said the first half of 2024 he lost so many family and friends that he took it as a sign from God that he needs to stop rapping about murder and violence. So this is when he made Slut Me Out 2 and 3 in the second half of the year, and he said he made these songs out of spirituality. And yes, they're very loving, I guess, but it's also very controversial because just take a look at these lyrics. I mean, not my cup of tea, and I think this is what makes everything so controversial, but he said this was all a humiliation ritual, and he passed with the help of God.
I don't know this guy's walk with God or what God he's really referring to here, but the guy needs to get away from that industry before he ends up wearing like a pentagram necklace, women's clothes, and Teletubby boots. If you've gotten this far and you're enjoying the content, go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button, as it really will help the channel grow. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Dior talk. We need to have a talk. So, this was released today. This is called Waldo 3. And what it is an AI system that you are able to install onto, say, something that could fly in the sky, or probably just a regular camera system as well. And it's called Waldo, the Whereabouts Ascertainment for Low-Lying Detectable Objects. And what it's able to do is detect different objects, like light vehicles, persons, buildings, utility poles, boats, bikes, containers, trucks, gas tanks, diggers, solar panels, buses, probably more, and probably more to come. But I just want to put this out here because this technology is available right now. It has been available. And this is just the latest version that was released today, January 2nd, 2025. And people are currently using it for, they have here listed, disaster recovery, monitoring wildlife sanctuaries, occupancy calculation, monitoring infrastructure, construction site monitoring, traffic flow management, crowd counting, some fun AI art applications, drone safety, avoiding people / cars on the ground, and lots of other fun stuff, ... So I'm just putting it out here. This is for educational purposes only, obviously. But this is software you can actually download. It's open source. You can download it. You can play around with it. And so this is public-facing software that's available. Public-facing. So I just want to let you guys know that this is going on with possible things that are above us.
The scary thing about this real-time software is that anyone can use it, and there are some weird people out there in the world as well, not to mention the benefits it would have for tyrannical governments.
And there's the results. Once again, water just full of whatever that is, and I swear to God, you wouldn't drink that. So a lot of you have asked me to test out Highland spring water through the distiller, me and the good boy here. We did the Evian water last time. We've seen the results. Absolutely disgusting. Let's see if this brand's any better. So these distillers hold 4 litres of water, and each one of these bottles of Highland Spring is 1.5 litres. So it is going to be a little bit less than what we'd like to put in, but we're still going to see the results at the end.
So you can see the distiller doing its job. That water that's dripping out is the bottled water that's been boiled, evaporated, caught in there, and it's now going through the filter, and we're left with pure H2O. So I just got back from walking the good boy. The distiller has done its job. The water is full. Let's have a look. So I ain't even fucking joking, mate. There's the Highland Spring. There's the distiller. There's the good boy. And there's the results. Once again, water just full of whatever that is. And I swear to God, you wouldn't drink that. Telling you, mate, for 100 quid, you wouldn't drink that down the pub. It stinks. It's thick. It's no good for you, mate. So just because people always ask me how I remineralise my distilled water, it is important to note that when you use the water distiller, not only does it take all the bad stuff out, but it does take the good minerals out as well. Get yourself a high quality salt. I recommend Celtic sea salt. You're just going to get a pinch, drop it in, give it a mixture, and obviously put as much in or as little in as your taste. I normally put in about half a teaspoon for 3 or 4 litres, and it tastes banging. So yeah.
I don't know how true this video is, but you can't drink tap water, you can't drink bottled water, and glass bottled water costs like 3 or 4 quid for half a litre, which is just way too expensive, so you'd be out like 15-20 quid a day. So what do you exactly do?
Fleas are placed inside the jar, and the lid is then sealed. They are left undisturbed for 3 days. Then, when the jar is opened, the fleas will not jump out. In fact, the fleas will never jump higher than the level set by the lid. Their behaviour is now set for the rest of their lives. And, when these fleas reproduce, their offspring will automatically follow their example.
So the fleas represent us, the jar represents the system, and the lab coat lad represents the 1%. If they have conditioned the population to the point where we won't be able to rise after them, then how exactly do we break the cycle?
And I'm a great believer that you should always confuse the enemy.
Who was the enemy?
Well, the enemy was my husband's department. Because I am a very strong person, and I know that causes complications in the system that I live in. I was a problem. I was a liability, seen as. And how are we going to deal with her? This hasn't happened before.
Who was asking those questions?
People around me, people in this environment, and...
The royal household?
People in my environment, yes, yeah.
They began to see you as a problem?
Yes, very much so. Mm-hmm.
How did that show itself?
By visits abroad being blocked, by things that had come naturally my way being stopped, letters got lost, and various things.
So despite the fact that your interest was always to continue with your duties, you found that your duties were being held from you?
Yes. Everything changed after we separated, and life became very difficult then for me.
Who was behind that change?
Well, my husband's side were very busy, stopping me.
Have you any idea how that conversation came to be published in the national press?
No, but it was done to harm me in a serious manner, and that was the first time I'd experienced what it was like to be outside the net, so to speak, and not be in the family. It was very much a poker game, chess game.
Do you really believe that a campaign was being waged against you?
Yes, I did, absolutely. Yeah.
Why?
I was a separated wife of the Prince of Wales. I was a problem, full stop. Never happened before. What do we do with her?
Can't we pack her off to somewhere quietly rather than campaign against her?
She won't go quietly. That's the problem. I'll fight till the end, because I believe that I have a role to fulfill. It did surprise them when I took myself out of the game. They hadn't expected that. And I'm a great believer that you should always confuse the enemy.
Who was the enemy?
Well, the enemy was my husband's department, because I always got more publicity. My work was discussed much more than him. And, from that point of view, I understand it. But I was doing good things. I wanted to do good things. I was never going to hurt anyone. I was never going to let anyone down.
Do you think you'll ever be queen?
No, I don't. No.
Why do you think that?
I'd like to be a queen of people's hearts in people's hearts, but I don't see myself being queen of this country. I don't think many people would want me to be queen. Actually, when I say many people, I mean the establishment that I'm married into, because they've decided that I'm a non-starter.
Why do you think they've decided that?
Because I do things differently, because I don't go by a rule book, because I lead from the heart, not the head. And albeit that's got me into trouble in my work, I understand that. But someone's got to go out there and love people and show it.
And do you think that because of the way you behave, that's precluded you effectively from becoming queen?
Yes, well, not precluded me, I wouldn't say that. I just don't think I have as many supporters in that environment than I did. Yeah.
You mean within the royal household?
Mm-hmm. They see me as a threat of some kind. And I'm here to do good. I'm not a destructive person.
Why do they see you as a threat?
I think every strong woman in history has had to walk down a similar path, and I think it's the strength that causes the confusion and the fear. Why is she strong? Where does she get it from? Where is she taking it? Where is she going to use it? Why do the public still support her? When I say public, you're going into an engagement and there's a great many people there.
Why have you decided to give this interview now? Why have you decided to speak at this time?
Because we will have been separated 3 years this December, and the perception that has been given of me for the last 3 years has been very confusing, turbulent, and in some areas I'm sure many, many people doubt me. And I want to reassure all those people who have loved me and supported me throughout the last 15 years, so I'd never let them down. That is a priority to me, along with my children.
And so you feel that by speaking out in this way, you'll be able to reassure the people?
Mm-hmm. The people that matter to me, the man on the street. Yeah, because that's what matters more than anything else.
Diana tried to do good in the world, and that was the problem with the establishment. They don't do good, and they don't like good. Now the UK has the very man that destroyed her and is now labelled as a king.
When you think 2024 can't get any better, just one day ago, a lawsuit was filed against 11 corporations to do with ultra-processed food and chemicals. Yeah! Check this out. We need this to go viral. We can't let this be swept under the carpet. We've been talking about this forever. So anything to do with a lawsuit against the companies that we know are attacking our food system, our children, our health, needs to be known. But the defendants that are being accused are Kraft Heinz Company, Mondelez International, Post Holdings, the Coca-Cola Company, PepsiCo, General Mills, Nestle, Kellogg's, Mars, just to name a few of them.
We've got a lawsuit against the Coca-Cola Company, who has nanoparticles in their drinks, Pepsi, who has fetal cells in their drinks, Heinz, who has parasites in their sauces, and Nestle and Mars, who has incorporated bovar into their chocolates. But do you think anything will actually come from this lawsuit?
What in the glitch is going on?
Okay. Calling in all reinforcements. Need your help on this one. My friend who lives in East Texas woke up today and this is what was in her pool.
Now they're all watching the fucking movie. Look at this shit. What the fuck?
This rock was floating here this morning. I thought, that's weird. But it's attached by a spider web.
So there's this picture on my dad's phone, and it's really scary, and they think it's the last thing he's gonna see before he just showed up on his phone out of nowhere. It says January 30th, 2027, and no one knows where this picture was taken from.
Ja.
The headless lad has a symptom called never look upitis. It's a condition where you spend every waking second and minute of your life staring down at a phone.
Yo, this shit is weird as fuck, bro. There's just a pillar of light, orange fucking light in the sky. And I don't know if you can catch it on the camera, but there's like other ones over there too. That's not an artifact on my fucking camera, bro. That is just lights shining straight up into the sky. What the fuck?
What is up with all the weird and strange activity that's been happening in our skies lately? I mean, the more time goes on, the more activity that we're starting to see.
Come with me, let me show you the new technology of nurses. So, this is an AI. They call it the setter. So, instead of having a nurse come...
My name is Brandy.
Oh, her name is Brandy, she just said. So she helps out the nurses and she follows the patient to make sure he's safe at all times. So if the patient gets up or she sees something that is not right, Brandy helps out the nurses in the room. So the nurses doesn't have to be right here in the patient's room because lovely Brandy is helping them along. This is technology. Welcome to the new world.
Kind of cool, isn't it?
It's very cool, Brandy. Very cool. And we thank you for your service. Very cool.
Brandy would help out nurses a little too much in the future, to the point where nurses will actually be asleep on the job because these AI machines will do all the work for them. Or worse, they'll probably force to cut even more jobs to the point where we'll actually have to rely fully on AI to save people's lives.
Y'all, this is absolutely crazy. This dude was in the woods and he started hearing all these crazy, bizarre noises happening under his feet. You know, I really wonder what could be under there. If you know, you know. Anyways, I haven't seen the whole video yet, so we're about to watch it right now.
No idea what's going on, but listen to this. There's something under the ground, and it sounds like it's about to bust out.
I'm telling you guys, life in the 21st century is crazy. And you know, at the same time that this is happening, people are hearing explosions all over the place. Pretty bizarre, right? There's a whole bunch of inner Earth stories of all different people saying they went inside the Earth and other stuff happening down there that I can't really say. One thing is absolutely certain. I don't really think any of us know what to expect for this next year. Goodbye.
I don't know what's going on with this world, but what I do know is how everything feels like it's changing. Everything just feels off, like we're on the cusp to something definitely big the more time goes on, and we're just sitting in this waiting room patiently waiting.
سيدنا ناخذ صورة؟
جيد. اوه. تعبان بيجي. بس ذخيرة.
ذخيرة مكتوب عليهم يا سيدي. قانوني بالضبط. ثيودوروس. ثيودوروس. صوروا فيديو.
I was in the UK down there on Three Cox Lane, somewhere around Cummins Street. Where at? Down there in Longfire Pool Gun Gilgogger, you quarter double umbalithio go gawk. That's a mouthful. Always is on Fine Bush Lane. Did you get a ham sandwich? No, I was in thong. Why were you in a thong? Not in a thong, in thong. Oh, down there by Wet Wayne. Yep, next door to the Hornady Police. But did you see any seahorses on the road while you was down there? Nope, I spent most of the trip down on Slut's Hole Lane over by the Cock and Bottle shop. Well, what'd you get there? A Cock and Bottle. I tell you though, it's a busty view down there. It got a little hard to travel though down there in Boner Place. How cool. They got tanks crossing the road down there. Did you put up a fight? No, but I did almost get into a fight with a scuba diver walking down the road. Yep, down south by the Upper Dicker. Are you gonna go back? Yep, I didn't get to go down Tom Tits Lane. If you ever do go back, you can't miss Spanker Lane down there next to the Glory Hole. We can go together. I don't think so.
That's it for today, everyone, and thanks for watching. And if you made it this far, you can support the channel by liking and subscribing. But until the next video, guys, please stay safe and stay healthy, and I'll see you then.